Good morning student. Today we will learn how to find inverse Z transform by using partial fraction method. So inverse Z transform means you have given a transfer function that is in the Z domain and we need to find its inverse, that means we need to convert it in the time domain. Here when we will apply partial fraction method, there is a condition. The condition is the degree of numerator must be less than equal to degree of denominator. Degree of numerator must be less than equal to degree of denominator. Then only we can apply this method, that is partial fraction method. In this example, we can see the degree of numerator is 1 and degree of denominator is 2. Hence, this condition is satisfied. So, we can apply partial fraction method in order to calculate inverse Z transform. In this case, the denominator having 2 poles. That means we need to find 2 unknown value. And we have to observe here one condition is given, that is the region of convergence. That means Z magnitude always represents the circle having radius 1 and this is the condition is outer part of the circle. The condition is outer part of the circle, that is the signal is right sided. Hence we need to calculate the time domain signal which must be right sided in nature, that is in causal domain. So let's first calculate the partial fraction and then we'll put the value. So xz is equal to, we have two unknown, a by z minus 1 plus b by z minus 2. Here we have 2 poles, hence we have 2 unknown. Then how to find a? We have already studied in mathematics the residue method in order to calculate this unknown. So here in this case, in order to calculate the value of a, we have the pole is 1, hence limit z tends to 1, whichever is the pole, z must be tends to that, z tends to pole. Here the pole is 1, z tends to 1. Again the numerator will be written, that is z minus 1 and function is given, that is x of z. Hence limit z tends to 1, z minus 1, z by z minus 1 into z minus 2. Hence z minus 1 and z minus 1 got cancelled out. By putting the value of z is equal to 1, we got a value is 1 by 1 minus 2, which is nothing but minus 1. Similarly, we need to calculate the value of b. So keep in mind the value of a is z is equal to minus 1. So how to calculate b? The similar way. Here the pole is 2, hence limit z tends to 2, z minus 2 into xz, that is z by z minus 1 into z minus 2. Since z minus 2 got cancelled out, finally by putting the value of z is equal to 2, we got 2 by 2 minus 1, hence this is equal to 2. So a value equal to minus 1 and b is equal to 2. Hence we need to finally put this value in this equation 1. Hence xz is equal to 2 by z minus 2 minus 1 by z minus 1. And the general transformation that we have studied in Z transform, that is, if a signal a to the power n un is given, the Z transform is 1 by z transform is z by z minus a. a to the power n un, that is z by z minus a for right sided signal. If this signal is left sided, then this time domain signal nature got changed, that is minus a to the power n u of minus n minus 1. So by putting this to, let's take common 2 by z minus 2 minus 1 by z minus 1. So in this case, so if I apply here the time shifting property, that is if this is equal to z by z minus 1, that means if a to the power n minus 1 u of n minus 1 is given, hence we need to multiply z inverse into z by z minus a, which is nothing but 1 by z minus a. So 1 by z minus a, the transformation is a to the power n minus 1 u of n minus 1. So by putting this in equation 2, and similar way we can calculate for this, hence for this the z transform is 2 by z minus 2, hence it will be 2 into 2 to the power n minus 1 u of n minus 1 minus 1 to the power n, which is nothing but 1 u of n minus 1. So 2 into 2 to the power n minus 1, which is nothing but 2 to the power n u of n minus 1. So in this way we can calculate z transform, we can calculate the inverse z transform if by using partial fraction method. So we have to observe the two things, that is the partial fraction method when it is applicable only when the numerator degree is less than equal to denominator degree, and second condition is in order to calculate the time domain signal we must see the region of convergence. If the region of convergence is right sided, hence we calculate the time domain signal in terms of un. If it is if the z region of convergence is given like that z not less than equal to 1, that means inside the circle, in that case the nature of the signal will be left sided, and that will be denoted by u of minus n minus 1. Next we will look into another new thing, the new chapter, that is how to calculate discrete Fourier transform. How to calculate discrete Fourier transform if the signal is given, that is question xn is equal to, that is given as 1 0 minus 1 and 0. Then how to find its discrete Fourier transform. So we have already studied discrete Fourier transform in conventional method, that is by using definition. What is the definition for discrete Fourier transform? That is x of k is equal to summation of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e to the power minus of j 2 pi by n into kn. So by using this definition we can also calculate this method we have already studied, that is the conventional method, but this time by using how to calculate discrete Fourier transform by a shortcut method. So there is a shortcut method also, and that method is x of k is equal to, for a 4 point this see the signal is given having 4 samples, hence we have already one of our matrix, that is see, this method is going to be very helpful when you are attempting the multiple choice type question, because by solving this question in conventional method it will take more time. By using this matrix method we can easily find the discrete Fourier transform of the time domain signal xn. So in order to for this 4-point DFT, the matrix is given. We need to define a matrix which is of size 4 cross 4, that is a square matrix. All the row of first row and first column is 1. Then we have minus j, minus 1 j, minus 1 1, minus 1 j, minus 1 minus j. And the given signal is xn. So xn we can write this in this way: 1 0 minus 1 0. So by simply multiply this here this matrix size is 4 cross 4 and this matrix size is 4 cross 1. Hence the multiplication is possible because the number of column in first matrix and the number of rows in second matrix are equal. Hence matrix multiplication is possible. So first row in first column of the second matrix, so multiply it. So 1 into 1 plus 1 into 0 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 into 0. In the similar way, the second row into this, that is 1 into 1 minus j into 0 minus 1 into minus 1 plus j into 0. Then we have 1 into 1 minus 1 into 0 plus 1 into minus 1, then minus 1 into 0. Similarly 1 into 1 plus j into 0 minus 1 into minus 1 minus j into 0. So finally multiply this and then add. We will have all the function in discrete Fourier transform, that is 1 into 1 1 minus 1, this got cancelled out. Hence the first sample is 0 in DFT, the second is 1 into 1 j into 0 plus j into 0 0, then minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, this will be 2, 1 into 1, then 1 into 0 0, here this is 0, 1 into minus 1 1 into 1, this got cancelled out. Hence the value will be coming as 0, then 1 into 1 minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, 2. So this is the easiest method to find 4-point DFT. So when you are attempting MCQ, so follow this method, you can easily find out DFT of a 4-point DFT of the given signal. By conventional method will take much more time. Hence this method is preferred when you are attempting MCQ. Thank you.